The Saraf of Strelisk. Reb Ari sat in his usual corner of the base medrash in the city of Lundberg, learning with great enthusiasm. Reb Ari would spend all his hours learning Torah diligently, his face radiating happiness. One was never able to detect a trace of worry on his face. Shacharis was over. Itzi, the water carrier, sighed deeply as he folded his tallis. "I wish I were able to sit and learn for a while," he said to break the tallis, "but I must run out to work in order to provide for my family." Barak listened to his friend's complaint and replied, "Reb Ari always seemed too content. He must be very rich and does not have to worry about earning a livelihood." And with that, Itchy the water carrier and Barak the tailor hurried out to begin their day's work, completely unaware in the fact that Reb Ari had not eaten anything for the past 2 days. Reb Ari and his family lived in a dingy one-room basement apartment. His wife would go out to the marketplace each morning, buy some vegetables from the villagers, and then sell them to others, thereby earning a small profit. With the merely coins that she earned, she would buy a small loaf of bread for her family. There were some days, however, when Reb Ari's wife was simply unable to go to the marketplace. On those days, the entire family would remain without food for the entire day. One day, happiness descended upon Reb Ari's household. His wife had given birth to a baby boy. The entire family was in high spirits. Reb Ari happily accepted the well wishes of the people who davened with him in the base medrash. 8 days passed. The day of the bris arrived. After davening, Reb Ari approached a wealthy man by the name of Reb Lev of Milas. Reb Lev was not only wealthy, he was also a great Talmid Chacham. "I would like to give you the honor of being the sandak on my son's bris," said Reb Ari to Reb Lev. Reb Lev was very happy at the offer. He knew that it was a great chus for him to be the sandak at the bris of a holy person. Reb Ari summoned a few more people, and together they went to Reb Ari's home to perform the mitzvah of bris milah. The entire way, Reb Ari was in great spirits. He could not wait to perform this great mitzvah. Finally, the group of people arrived at the old, run-down house. The holy Reb Ari went down a few steps to the apartment. Reb Lev and the others followed him, all the while wondering, where is Reb Ari leading us? Could it be that he lives in such a shabby place? None of them had ever been in Reb Ari's house, and they had never imagined that he lived in such miserable conditions. Reb Ari opened the door and invited the others to come in. The group of men looked around in bewilderment and the broken furniture in the dimly lit room. The table was bare. There was not even one bottle of wine to honor the simcha. Reb Ari went to the tiny side room to bring out the baby. It was then that the guests heard the baby's mother sobbing uncontrollably. "How embarrassing!" they heard her cry. "There is nothing to serve the guests. How shameful to have to make the bris without serving any food whatsoever." Then they heard Reb Ari's soft voice trying to comfort his wife. "Should we not make the bris because we don't have any food to offer our guests? Should our son not be zoicha to enter the bris of Avram Avinu because of some food? Let's be happy that we have the opportunity to perform such a mitzvah." The wealthy Reb Lev heard these words and stuttered. "How could it be that I have never noticed that the holy Reb Lev, Reb Ari, lives in such poverty?" he wondered to himself. He quickly took a respectable sum of money to his pocket and gave it to the man standing near him and whispered, "Hurry, go to the marketplace and buy everything necessary to make a proper seudah for the bris," he instructed. The man hurried out to the marketplace. And was back in no time. As soon as he entered, Reb Ari came out of the little room, holding the tiny baby in his arms. He stood to the side and called out the bracha of Shechiyanu with much kavanah and emotion. Then he continued with great divrei Torah. He was so absorbed in his holy thoughts that he did not even notice all the while the men he had invited were busy preparing the table with the finest delicacies in special honor of his son's bris. Reb Lev, who himself was a great Talmid Chacham, realized now for the first time how Reb Ari actually was, and therefore he decided to help him out so that his family would no longer suffer. When Birkat Hamazon was over, Reb Lev approached Reb Ari and said, "Tell me, Reb Ari, what do you do for a living?" Reb Ari looked up and replied simply, "We have 2 kalach." Reb Lev understood that Reb Ari owned 2 cows. Kalach in Yiddish means cows, and that they earned a living from selling milk. He decided at once to instruct his servants to buy milk only from Reb Ari's family. The next day, bright and early, soft knocks were heard on the basement door of Reb Ari's family's home. Who can that be? Wondered Reb Ari's wife. She opened the door at once and was surprised to see a servant girl holding 2 milk pails in her hand. "I've come to buy fresh milk," said the girl. "Fresh milk from us?" asked the wife in surprise. "We don't even have a drop of milk in the house. Why, we haven't tasted milk in years." The bewildered girl apologized at once. "I'm sorry," she said. "There must have been a misunderstanding. Reb Lev instructed me to buy milk from you." The girl then immediately made her way back to the house and related to Reb Lev what had occurred. Reb Lev could not understand what was going on. Was it possible that the holy Reb Ari had simply lied and said that he had 2 cows when he didn't? Reb Lev at once made his way over to the base medrash to clarify the situation. When he reached the entrance, he immediately noticed Reb Ari sitting in his usual spot, swaying to and fro and learning with obvious pleasure. Reb Ari apologized and whispered softly, "Reb Ari, I would like to ask you something." Reb Ari lifted his eyes from the sefer and listened to Reb Lev. "Why did you say that you own 2 kalalach? I sent my servants this morning, and your wife said that you do not own any cows." A smile spread across Reb Ari's face, and he answered simply, "Indeed, we have 2 keys. Ki in Hebrew means because. Ki v'yismach live, for in it the Torah our hearts rejoice, and ki v'shem k'dshay b'tochni, for in Hashem's holy name we place our trust." These are the 2 keys that help us survive. It is because we place our trust in Hashem that we are so happy with our lives. When Reb Lev heard this, he decided that he would send Reb Ari's wife enough money each week to buy food and clothes for her family. Several weeks passed, and Reb Ari did not notice the change that had taken place in his home, since he spent most of the time in the base medrash. Even the short time that he was at home, he was spent learning. He did not notice the foods that his wife was serving him. On Shabbos, Reb Ari suddenly noticed. To his surprise, the tables were set with challah and wine, fish and meat. "Where's all this from?" he asked his wife in wonder. The wife answered softly, "Reb Lev sent us the money each week for food and clothing." Reb Ari was surprised and said, "I feel that Hashem does not want us to be poor any longer. But I do not want the money to come from wealthy Reb Lev. I'm sure Hashem will send the money wherever we are." and immediately after Shabbos, he requested his wife to pack their meager belongings and pile everything into a wagon and drove to the city of Strelisk. It wasn't long before Reb Ari became famous as the holy man, and many people began coming to him from all over Galaad. Reb Ari performed many great miracles for the people who came to him with their problems. He also influenced many Yidden to do teshuvah and live a true life. The people who observed him were especially amazed at the way he served Hashem with such holiness. He appeared to them as if he was a malach, and thus they began calling him Saraf, a type of malach of Strelisk. On the 23rd of Elul, 5586, the Holy Rebbe, the Saraf of Strelisk, returned his pure neshama to Hashem. His son, Rebbe Shlomo, tearfully mourned his father and said, "I do not know how it is possible to continue living after having married such a father." For 4 months later, he too passed away. His loss had been too great for him to bear. May his merit protect all Klal Yisrael.